Hey bro peoples, this is Sonic732 and welcome back to another impressions video. Now today, as you can tell, I'm going to give you my first impressions on Final Fantasy 15 episode Duscae or Duscae or I don't even know. Developers really just name the title of your game something simple so people don't have like fan wars on how you pronounce this and that. Just have it something simple. Either way, so episode Duscae or Duscae, I'm just going to call it 15. So yeah, 15 demo is basically, well, a demo of Final Fantasy 15, which is still a work in progress, and we have no idea when it's coming out. But yeah. So this is a demo that came bundled with the newly released Final Fantasy Type 0 HD remaster for the PS4 and Xbox One. So if you got the Day 1 edition, or I think you got the game in general, it should have came with the code for 15 demo. So I got it yesterday, which was the 17th when it first came out, and I played the demo. I fully beat it. The demo's maybe about like 3 hours to 4 hours if you really want to get the most out of it. But, you know, I played it, picked it up, played it, and this is my opinions on it. So, to be short and to the point, I love the combat. I really do. But before I get into the combat, let me talk about mainly the story. So, the story focuses around our team of 4. So, you have Noctis, the emo protagonist. You have Gladiolus, which is pretty much the muscle of the group. You have Prompto, which is the goofball. And you have Ignis, the, well, the smart ass, I guess you could say. I don't know. He doesn't really seem that annoying. But, so, apparently, we don't really get a lot of exposition on the story because I guess Square doesn't want to reveal too much about it. So all we know is that something happened where Prompto damaged the car, and now we have to get money to repair the car. So we have to hunt down something called Behemoth, and all you Final Fantasy fans out there should know what Behemoth is. So we gotta hunt one down, sell his horns, get the money, repair the car, and leave. And that's basically the entire demo. The demo is basically just running around the Duscae region, or Duscae, whatever. So it's just running around the region, it's doing as many cycles as you can to level up. Finding the Behemoth, it's doing some extra stuff, and yeah, that's really all the demo is in terms of the story. And, you know, that kind of filled me up a lot. There was a lot of stuff I did like those 3 or 4 hours I actually played the demo. There was a lot of fun stuff. But yeah, so let me get into the whole gameplay, I should say. So the gameplay, I guess you could say it's very, like, the way the characters control and whatnot, it's similar to Lightning Returns, but I don't know, when I was playing the game, I got a lot of Assassin's Creed flashbacks. I'm not talking about like Unity, I'm talking about like the good ones. But you know, like the way the characters controlled and the way like they ran and whatnot, it reminded me a lot of like Assassin's Creed games with no parkour basically. But the combat, well, the combat's, I guess you could say it's kind of a little bit controversial because if you like Kingdom Hearts, the combat should be, well, you should love it instantly. Because when the game was originally called Versus 13, the game was basically, what if Final Fantasy played like Kingdom Hearts? When they made any changes to 15, the combat changed along with it. So it isn't as hack and slash as Kingdom Hearts was. Well, I guess if you really want it to be hack and slash, it can be hack and slash. But, you know, there's a little bit of strategy involved with it. So basically, Noctis has the ability to, well, wield swords and weapons and whatnot. So you press square to attack, you press circle to jump, and you press triangle to do special moves. I'll get more into special moves like later. So Noctis has the ability to equip up to 5 swords. Each, depending on where you equip each weapon, they have a different, well, I guess you could say like role to fulfill in battle. So the first weapon is basically your starting attack. So say you equip a spear as the first weapon. You will start off your combo with the spear. The second weapon you equip will decide what weapon you want to continue with the combo. So if you equip like the giant hammer, which I think it's called like a Zweilander, then Noctis will continue the combo with a heavy weapon. And depending on what else you equip, it depends like what you do when you attack in midair, what you attack when you dodge enemies. But yeah, stuff like that. And you know what? It adds a lot of layers of strategy because, you know, it makes you think, what do I want to start off with? What weapon do I want to use to continue the combo? What do I want to use whenever I want to get whenever I want to kill enemies from midair? You know, it adds strategy and it's really cool. It's a really cool idea. Plus, also depending on which weapon you use, you also gain special abilities, which are what you use for triangle. So depending on which weapon you use, you get abilities that, well, pretty much they cost MP. MP is basically your source of, well, doing anything in the game. So you have a set amount of MP. Over time, your MP will refill gradually, and depending on how you manage your MP, the battles could either be really short or take really long if you're stubborn. Let me elaborate. So if you keep a good amount of MP, You'll knock this and will pretty much be able to attack at free will and yeah. If you waste all your MP, Noctis will enter this thing called stasis, where he will not be able to attack, and every time you try attacking, he will stutter, and you pretty much get nowhere. If you're like me, you mostly focus with Noctis's main combos. You never really use your special attacks unless there's like a large amount of enemies. Other than that, I want to bring mention to some special attacks like I forgot what it was called, but I think it's called like Hurricane. I don't think it's called Hurricane. Either way, I want to bring mention to Drain Blade, which is a really useful attack whenever I'm low on health. I also want to bring mention to Full Thrust, which is with Spear, and holy crap, that Full Thrust did a lot of damage. And I forgot the other move, but it's the move where you like spin around and attack everyone in sight. I forgot what the move was called, but yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue. Whatever though. So yeah, I want to bring mention to those special moves. So yeah, those special moves drain MP. Like I said before, if you keep using those special moves and don't really focus on your main combos, you're pretty much guaranteed, well, to be screwed over. So yeah, I recommend managing your MP good, and yeah. Noctis also has the ability to warp. So out of some random coincidence, I have no idea what story with this because I don't know, the game's changed for so long, so the stories had to be rewritten over and over again. So for some odd reason, Noctis has the ability to throw swords and as a result warp. So whenever an enemy is really far away, you could throw your sword at it and Noctis will warp towards the enemy. It's a really good strategy, whenever an enemy is halfway across the map and you want to warp to it. But it wastes MP. So I really do not recommend using it. But yeah, other than that, in terms of like character animations and like voice acting, the character animations are really good. I mean, like, you see combat, you see the characters react to like the environment of the enemies. Holy crap. I gotta give mention to Gladiolus and Prompto. Those guys are like the most animated. Holy crap. Prompto, the way he slides and shoots enemies, it's so cool. Really animated. Now the voice acting, oof, this is gonna be very controversial with whatever I say. But let me just point out, I don't think the English voice acting is bad. Do I think it's better than the Japanese voice acting? To an extent. So let me go over the voice actors in general. So with Prompto, he's really good. Like, I don't know, I like the voice actor for Prompto. He's okay, you know, he has those one or two lines where I'm just like, okay, that's kind of weird. But you know, he also made me laugh a little bit because during the demo, you have to track down a behemoth, and when you find a clue, Prompto's like, I believe that is called a clue. And I don't know, I kind of cracked up during that delivery. But yeah, so Prompto is okay. Gladiolus is probably the best one, only because, well, I don't know, I like the way the voice actor delivers on Gladiolus, unless, and if it's Fred Tatasciore, however you pronounce his name, the guy who voiced Magnus in Kid Icarus Uprising, then, you know, I gotta give him props for that. Gladiolus is probably the best voice acted. Ignis is also really good. I don't know, it took me a while to get used to his voice, but, you know, after I got used to it, I thought it was okay. Noctis, however, oof, Noctis was probably the one character I was scared to see how they would voice act, and after playing this demo, I want him to shut up. Like, permanently. Like, forever. Like, this guy's voice is more annoying than, like, Sora's voice. Or, like, Vanille's voice from Final Fantasy 13. Holy crap, Noctis, just shut up! Okay, his voice, holy crap, it's, okay. The best explanation I could give for Noctis' voice. Everyone has that one friend that says they could do a good impression of Batman. Whenever that friend does the impression of Batman, however, they sound terrible. That is exactly what Noctis sounds like. His voice is all over the place. Like, you know, he talks like this sometimes, and you know, it's very hard to understand what he's saying. And then sometimes he talks like this, and it gets really weird to also hear what he's saying. You know, it's like the voice actor couldn't just decide on what style to give Noctis. Do they go with the emo voice, or do they go with like the slightly like the older teen voice? I don't know. It was just kind of weird. I don't know what's it called. Prior to playing the demo, I actually saw this fan dub trailer that they did with when it was still Versus 13, where Noctis and Stella were talking. The voice for Noctis was actually really good in that fan dub, and you know, just hearing his voice in like the the final product, holy crap. You know, that's the one thing I really do hope Square fixes, or at least recast the voice actor for Noctis, because I'm just not feeling that voice. I really am not feeling that voice, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people could agree that, you know, in terms of voice acting, Noctis is probably the worst. But, you know, other characters like Sydney or Cindy, however you pronounce your name, I think it's Cindy. You know, she's okay. Yeah, I would prefer Tara Strong to voice her. But yeah, Cindy is okay. Other than that, yeah, that's really all the people that voice act. I mean, you could also count like the NPCs, but I don't really count them. But those are mainly the 5 characters, and I gotta bring special mention to the one thing. So this thing is not required to beat the demo. This thing is completely optional. So if you go exploring, you can find the cave. In that cave, you get an ability which gives Noctis a new ability. So if you guys seen like the previous 15 and versus 13 trailers, you've seen the scenes where Noctis like wields like phantom swords around him, like those crystal swords that just generate around Noctis and deflect bullets. So Noctis, when you explore that cave, Noctis gains the ability to wield those phantom swords you've been seeing all the time. When you do that, holy crap, that move is so destructive. Like, holy crap, you destroy everything in sight. Like, dang. Like, I swear, that move is just so good, but it drains all your MP, so you also have to be really careful about it. And also, you gain your first summon of the game, Rama, I think that's his name. And holy crap. Just holy crap. The first time I saw Rama was when I was fighting the Behemoth. The Behemoth drained me all the way to 0 health. And I had my last stand, which I could summon Rama. As soon as I summoned it, and I saw that lightning generate, holy crap, my jaw dropped. Like, it just fell flat on the floor. It was so amazing and so beautiful. Holy crap. I want to see the other summons like Bahamut and like Odin. I want to see what they do. Damn, that was so cool. I want to see like more of like like what Final Fantasy 15 has in store for the summons. But I also forgot to mention probably the most jarring issue of the game, the frame rate. Holy crap, the frame rate is so inconsistent during this demo. You see, it's not as bad as Sonic Boom. At least 15 is playable with the frame rate, but I'm not gonna lie, when the frame rate stutters, you notice that. It's like an elephant in the room. Holy crap, the frame rate's pretty bad. And you also gotta say that sometimes during like whenever like a character is like whenever there's like a mini cutscene, there's like pop up like some of the textures don't load. And also this is kind of a weird thing, but sometimes like whenever the characters were supposed to be speaking, no dialogue came out. Like there's some times where I had Ignis and Prompto having a conversation, but none of their voices showed up. It was just text. I'm not sure if that was intentional, because that happened when we were when we were stalking the Behemoth, but still, if that was like an issue, then yeah, that should have been that shouldn't have been there. And also there was one time after I defeated the Behemoth, I spawned outside the Behemoth's territory, and I couldn't do anything. Like, I couldn't move. All I was able to do was just like look around. I couldn't attack, and yeah, kind of glitched up the game over there. But overall, after my tinker around with Final Fantasy 15 episode Duscae, just don't even know. I'm gotta say, my hype for the game is still up there. Like, I still really am looking forward to 15's full game. And when that game does come out, I'll be sure to pick it up day one. Square, I have my trust in you. You really did impress me with the episode Duscae, blah blah. And I really want to see what you could do with this. I really do have hope for this game. The demo showed off a lot of promise. And hell, when you beat the demo, you also get a little bit of hint of the story. And I'm also gonna talk about this right now, which this is like a major spoiler. So if you don't want to hear this, end the video right now. I'm giving you this heads up. But for those of you guys who've been following this game since its first reveal back in like 2006 when it was referred to as Versus 13, you might remember the character known as Stella. Last time we saw of her was the last time this game was revealed as Versus 13, which was back in 2011. And ever since it was revealed as 15, we haven't seen Stella. Instead, this new character called Luna. Well, after you beat the demo, you get a little brief look at to see what the story of 15 is about. And they drop a clue showing that Stella is out of the game and has been replaced with that new character, Luna. So you might be asking, how is this possible? So in the cutscene, they're talking about how the forces of Nibelheim invaded the Kingdom of Insomnia and destroyed it. And they say that Noctis is supposedly dead. But they also confirm that Luna is supposed to be Stella. Because if you followed Versus 13, you know that Stella's full name is Stella Nox Fleuret. And Luna's name is Luna Freyr Nox Fleuret.
So one of two things. The first one, which honestly seems like the most logical, Stella is cut from the game and she is replaced with the new character Luna because they're striking resemblance and, well, I don't know, I guess they just didn't like Stella. Or two, Luna and Stella are sisters, which honestly seems probably the most unreasonable because, yeah. And, well, Luna is probably getting the most focus and Stella is probably just going to be the antagonist. But, you know, I don't know. This is just a theory, a game theory. I'm not just sorry, Matt Pat, just sorry. But, yeah. So either way, though, that was my tinkering around with 15 episode Duscae, whatever. And I gotta say, it still really is good. I'm really looking forward to 15, whatever that comes down like the next 20 years. But other than that, yeah, if you haven't bought Type 0, which so far what I played from Type 0, it's a really fun game. Buy it, and you can get episode Duscae, whatever. Oh, I'm just gonna give up with this. And, you know, enjoy it. Just hopefully the frame rate doesn't bother you and, you know, you like a Final Fantasy game based around the combat system of Kingdom Hearts. So, yeah, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, do what you want. And I will see you guys in the next episode. So, peace out, peoples, and bye-bye.
Okay, I might have actually forgotten one thing. I really gotta start taking notes on these things. So yeah, the main way of leveling up in the game is via camping. What do I mean by that? So basically, your cycles go through a day. So, you know, you fight enemies during the day, you take on some at night, but then you realize, you know what, maybe these enemies are getting a little too strong for me. So you decide to set up camp. In these camps, you are able to level up your characters, and depending on what you have, or what you got during the day, determines on what food you make, and the food you make determines what buffs you have for the next day. So, you know, it's a way to, like, keep leveling up and whatnot. It's a kind of a very weird concept, but, you know, honestly, when you try it out, it honestly doesn't seem that bad. I mean, yeah, sure, there are moments where I thought, you know what, I would really love to level up right now, but I gotta get to a camp. But, you know, you're able to camp anytime you want, so you could just level up anytime you want. I recommend saving, like, getting all the EXP you can and leveling up to see how much you level up. So satisfying to do. Anyway, though, that's the last thing I gotta say. I really gotta start taking notes down in case one of these happens again. So, yeah, peace out, peoples, and bye-bye.